Accra. City 97.3. More variety.
Good afternoon, Ghana. It's 12 o'clock. Time to reach for mobile water. Mobile water, unique in every way.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
City News.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Citi Prime News. This is the Election Bureau. The news is live from our studio in Accra. My name is Caleb Kuda. Coming up, Electoral Commission justifies decision to recollate parliamentary results of 9 disputed constituencies in the recent general elections.
In 2004, the EC, under the leadership of Dr. Afarijan, recollated and overturned parliamentary results for the Pru constituency and declared the NDC candidate as the NP-elect instead of the NPP candidate who had earlier been declared winner.
Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress NDC slams the position of the EC.
Every election cycle has its own CI, a constitutional instrument that governs the election. 2004 had its CI under Afarijan, the same thing as 2020, 2012, in 2016. Now the current CI came into force in 2020. It's a different CI altogether.
Still to come.
They are working, and by the 29th or before, the results of our exams will be out so that the universities can go about their job of making sure our students will also be given admission to pursue their various degrees and diploma programs.
Education Minister Dr. Osei Aduchum issues 5-day deadline for the West Africa Examination Council WAEC to release WASI results following mounting pressure on the Education Ministry to clear debts owed the examining body. And later, and Channel 1 TV and Citi FM to lock down the national capital with the biggest official all-white Christmas party situation at the East Legon Underbridge tonight.
There's one thing about situation. Yeah. When you are coming from the house, no matter mood or woman, immediately you get there, as any jigu around, as an a mood no call. You can't sit down. You have to be on your feet, so we close. Well, we say, yeah, artists now here best stage in the bed door, the any say you need me.
And by the way, if you're yet to buy a table, I'm sorry, but the situation is sold out.
But now I can't you buy it.
This bulletin is live across our partner stations around the country in the Western region. Hello to you on Premier 100.5 FM in Takoradi Beach, 105.5 FM also in Takoradi in the Bono region. You're listening to us on Greener 95.9 FM in Sunyani. This is Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi in the Ashanti region. In the Volta region, you're listening to us on Holy 98.5 FM in Aflao in the Northern region. This is Dasuma 99.1 FM in Yendi. In the Upper East region, we are live on Word 88.3 FM in Zuarungu. In the Upper West region, this is Bugli Radio 88.6 FM. Let's settle for the details of our stories now. And the Electoral Commission EC has justified its decision to recollate election results in 9 constituencies after their initial declaration. The Commission has faced criticism over its decision to recollate these disputed constituencies. In a statement released, the Commission cited past instances where recollation had resulted in changes to declared outcomes. Here are excerpts of the statement of the EC.
In 2004, the EC, under the leadership of Dr. Afarijan, recollated and overturned parliamentary results for the Pru constituency and declared the NDC candidate as the NP-elect instead of the NPP candidate who had earlier been declared winner. In 1998, during the district-level elections in the Dompoase-Kokwado electoral area in the KEA district, The commission, under the leadership of Dr. Afarijan, overturned an earlier declaration and went on to declare the right candidate as winner. In 2004, the EC, under the leadership of Dr. Afarijan, recollated parliamentary results for the Pru constituency and declared the right candidate as winner. The EC, under the leadership of Dr. Afarijan, recollated parliamentary results for the Tolon constituency and declared the right candidate as winner in 2004. The same 2004, the EC, under the leadership of Dr. Afarijan, recollated parliamentary results for the Yape Gusau constituency and declared the right candidate as winner. In the year 2004 again, the EC, under the leadership of Dr. Afarijan, recollated parliamentary results for the Zabzigo constituency and declared the right candidate as winner.
You heard excerpts of a post released by the Electoral Commission and read by my colleague Ni Aikwe Okain. Meanwhile, the National Democratic Congress (NDC) criticized this, arguing that the constitutional instruments at the time permitted the Electoral Commission to take such actions. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is Deputy Director of IT and Elections.
They gave us an indication that to come for IPAC meeting today, 12 midday. Ahead of it, they issued this statement. When my boss responded to them on his Facebook wall about the falsehood they are perpetuating, quickly canceled the IPAC meeting. Clearly, they are trying to mislead the public. Every election cycle has its own CI, a constitutional instrument that governs the election. 2004 has its CI under Afarijan. The same thing as 2012 in 2016. Now, the current CI came into force in 2020. It's a different CI altogether. And so if you go and look at the regulations under those CIs, it makes room for the issues that they talk about. Interestingly enough, as of 2004, the following, I was then the director of election for Northern Region, and I represented it. There was no declaration whatsoever in Tolong. They started the collation process when tax came and vandalized the place. And everybody ran and took their pink sheets and ran away. So we were able to reassemble at the regional collation center to do the recollation. So there was no declaration. So they shouldn't be telling people like, we are saying that a situation where you have done declaration, you cannot do recollation. Those days it was possible. But now the current CI doesn't make room for that. And we made reference to her own letter she wrote to us in 2012, indicated that as soon as a declaration is made, there cannot be any recollection unless you go to court. So what has changed this year? So they are just misbehaving and becoming a lawless institution in Ghana.
Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is Deputy Director of IT and Elections for the NDC. Now, the registration for the 9th Parliament of Ghana has been indefinitely postponed due to delays in the Electoral Commission's submission of the certified list of duly elected members of Parliament after the December 2024 general elections. Originally scheduled for yesterday, the registration was intended to initiate preparations for the new parliamentary session. However, the EC's failure to meet the submission deadline has disrupted the process. In a statement, Parliament Secretariat confirmed the postponement, attributing it to the EC's inability to provide a certified list of MPs-elect. Here is the Member of Parliament for Keta, Kwame Jujoli Gakpa, reacting to the development.
It was proposed that today we start the registration, but as I speak to you, the EC, Electoral Commission, was not able, they are unable to do the needful. And this is where we are. And then nowadays, we don't know what is happening. It seems things are supposed to actually be smooth. Things are gradually getting, things are not moving smoothly as we expect. You know that we have to elect Speaker too. And then it was proposed that the Speaker election will be conducted 2 days before the 7th. And then the swearing in of the Speaker will take place on the 7th, in the morning of 7th. And then the swearing in of the members of Parliament on the 7th, in the morning. So as things are going, we just hope and pray that I used to do the needful so that it won't affect the constitutionally mandated date for swearing in of the Speaker as well as the members of Parliament.
Member of Parliament for Keta, Kwame Jujoli Gakpa. The minority in Parliament has called for an audit of the free senior high school program's finances, specifically focusing on expenditures from 2017 to 2024. This demand comes in response to appeals from the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, CHAS, which has urged the Ghana Education Service, GES, and the Ministry of Education to prioritize the release of funds necessary for smooth operation. stations. Speaking to City News, the Deputy Ranking Member of the Education Committee of Parliament, Dr. Clement Abbas-Apak, expressed concerns that funds approved by Parliament may not have been fully disbursed to the program and highlighted the need for a thorough audit.
This is most shocking and disheartening. I say so because for almost 8 years, Parliament has approved all requests and allocations made towards the implementation of the free senior high school policy and program. So it comes as a shock and a surprise that government has been failing to meet its obligations to our secondary schools. That certainly is a mark of incompetence, a clear manifestation of the failure of the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia-led NPP government, and indeed it gives us reason to believe that the quantums of resources we have been approving towards the implementation of the policy may not be fully applied for that purpose. Because if that were not the case, why is it the case that government owes this much in arrears, given the basis for the statement that Charles has issued? So we will be asking a lot of very critical questions, and we will be demanding full accountability with regards to expenditures related to the free senior high school program from 2017 to 2024. We ought to understand what and why we are in the current situation.
Dr. Clement Abbas-Apak is the Deputy Ranking Member on the Education Committee of Parliament. Still on matters relating to the free senior high school policy, and the Institute of Education Studies has linked the challenges facing the various senior high schools to the high cost associated with the policy. Now, speaking to City News, Deputy Director of the Institute, Patrick Appiah-Dankwa, called for a review of the policy to protect the quality of education.
Now, if you look at the reason why the free senior high school policy came up, it was to meet the challenge of cost. It was to take away the element of cost from the parents so that it would be borne by the government comfortably. So the idea is that the parents are having challenges with cost, so the government is going to take up the challenge. But the interesting thing over here is that when the parents were paying for this cost, they weren't facing these challenges. Why didn't have to ever face these challenges? And Charles didn't face this challenge. So it's quite interesting that the government decides to take a certain burden from the parents, from society, and the government has been inept in solving it.
Deputy Director of the Institute for Education Studies, Patrick Appiah-Dankwa. Now, the National Council of Parent Teachers Association has joined calls for the Ministry of Education to expedite action in settling arrears owed to WAEC. Irene Sam, Deputy Public Relations Officer of the National Council of Parent Teachers Association, has urged the government to treat the issue with utmost urgency.
So this time is the right time for them to voice out this concern, because everything must be addressed before the close of the year. And our awards are going back on the 3rd of January. Just about 2 weeks away. So they have all the concerns must come out. And we are pleading that the ears of Ministry of Education should be open to some of these concerns. Yeah, so all that we can do is to appeal to the ministry to do the needful so that it doesn't escalate to that angle. If Charles is biting now, it means that the situation has become so bad that they can no longer keep quiet over it. So they want to bite and bite hard. So we as a council, we are also biting hard on government that they should please do the needful.
Irene Sam also criticized Charles for its prolonged silence on the various limitations of the free senior high school policy in the education sector.
It has been that they were running a closed system of education, whereby they don't want to speak anything evil or nothing bad should come out of the free senior high school policy. All that government wants to do is to politicize the whole system and say everything is ongoing, everything is well, therefore nobody should say anything bad about it. But we here as a council, we are not doing party politics. We fix the issues thereof. And these things are biting our students, our wards, who are in the middle of all this situation. So we have everyone talk about this issue. But we have seen that Charles' posture and then whatever that they have done over the years is to keep quiet because, well, Ministry of Education is their employer. Therefore, whatever you say, they can take you on. You are either removed, you are taken out of the system or whatever, which shouldn't be the case.
Irene Sam is Deputy Public Relations Officer of the National Council of Parents Teachers Association. We stay with education because the sector minister, Dr. Yao Seduchum, has set December 29 as the deadline for releasing the WASI results. He announced this during a working visit to the WAEC printing facility. WAEC had earlier attributed the delay to a breakdown of scanners and financial challenges, citing the government's outstanding debt as the reason for their inability to repair or replace the equipment. In response, the ministry released 25 million Ghana cedis to support the printing process. Dr. Edichum expressed satisfaction with the progress made and WAEC's commitment to meeting the deadline.
This morning, we visited with WAEC. We've been taken around. They are working, and by the 29th or before, the results of our exams will be out, so that the universities can go about their job of making sure our students will also be given admission to pursue their various degrees and diploma programs. At this time, I think there's a very brief comment to let you know that the Minister for Education was here with the Director General of Ghana Education Service, and we are satisfied with the level of preparation and work being done by WAEC. And we are grateful for their service and for the fact that even during this break, they have staff here working around the clock to ensure that the results will be released for our students to continue their education journey. The most important thing is that the work is being done and it will be finished.
Dr. Yawase Aduchum is the minister responsible for education. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News live from our studio in Accra. My name is Caleb Kuda. Still ahead, Channel 1 Television and Citi FM to lock down the national capital with the biggest official all-white Christmas party situation at the East Legon Underbridge later tonight. Stay with us for more.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Thank you for staying with us here on the Citi Prime News live on 97.3 Citi FM with me, Caleb Kuda. To some of the stories now, and President Akufo-Addo is expressing his gratitude to Ghanaians for the opportunity to serve as President of the Republic. Nana Akufo-Addo described leading Ghana over the past years as a privilege. Speaking at the commissioning of a naval base in Takoradi in the Western region, President Akufo-Addo stated that he is leaving the Ghana Navy in a better shape.
This journey has been both professional and deeply personal. From the very beginning of my presidency, I understood the critical importance of a strong Navy to our national security and development. As I approach the conclusion of my tenure, I take great pride in knowing that the Navy stands stronger, more capable, and more respected than ever before. Ladies and gentlemen, as the sun sets on this chapter of my leadership, I'm reminded that the work of nation building is a collective, continuous effort. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve Ghana, and I'm confident that the foundation we have laid will endure for generations to come. Today, as we celebrate the achievements of the Ghana Navy, let us renew our collective commitments to safeguarding the future of our beloved nation.
President Akufo-Addo there. Now, the Ghana Association of Farmers and Fishermen has called on President-elect John Dramani Mahama to make agricultural development a priority in his agenda for economic transformation. The association underscored the need for the Mahama administration to reintroduce subsidized fertilizers and establish farmer service centers to address inflation and improve the livelihoods of farmers and fishermen. Speaking at a press conference in Accra, General Secretary of the Farmers and Fishermen Association of Ghana, Reverend Lemuel Kwashi Mate urged the government to take immediate steps to support the sector.
The pledge to roll out an agriculture for economic transformation agenda, AETA, signals a transformative vision for modernizing agriculture, promoting agribusiness, ensuring food security, and reducing inflation. This agenda, which emphasizes innovative financing, integrated value chains, and youth and women participation, offers significant hope to farmers, fishermen, and agribusiness stakeholders. Accordingly, we implore you to uphold a steadfast commitment to delivery on these promises, particularly the reintroduction of fertilizer subsidies, establishment of farmer service centers, and creation of farm banks to ease access to land and irrigation facilities. These initiatives, as highlighted, are crucial for building a resilient agriculture economy.
You heard the General Secretary of the Farmers and Fishermen Association of Ghana, Reverend Lemuel Kwashi Mate. Now, private legal practitioner Francis Xavier Sosu has pledged to appeal the case of a man sentenced to 5 years in prison for vandalizing vehicles at the precincts of Parliament. Sosu believes the man exhibited clear signs of mental instability, including claims of hearing from God, yet he was denied a mental health evaluation, legal representation, and was forced into pleading guilty despite lacking the mental capacity to understand or voluntarily make such a plea. Speaking to City News, Francis Xavier Sosu confirmed plans to file a judicial review application to overturn the conviction.
Clearly, when you look at the facts and then the circumstances surrounding the case, this is a clear case of miscarriage of justice against a person who can clearly be described as a mentally deranged person or somebody with some mental disorder. This case is so crucial because there is a need for us to protect persons who have mental disorders because they are part of the vulnerable class of our society. And as we walk about, there are many people with different levels of mental disorders, except that if you don't manifest in a particular way, sometimes people get away with them. This man clearly came to Parliament claiming that he heard from God and should smash people's cars. That is somebody that, even those statements raises a presumption of mental derangement or some schizophrenic condition. We are filing a judicial review application and we are asking that the court, by an order of sessional right, will quash the decision that even convicted him and then sentenced him to 5 years in prison.
Francis Xavier Sosu also assured that his appeal is not based on the length of the sentence, but rather on the inadequate protection of mental health patients in the country.
Well, I think that I'll still do this appeal, even if it was just one day. And the reason is not because he is not entitled or he is not supposed to be punished by law. The reason is that if the person did not have a mental capacity, right, if the person was not well mentally, then you can't attribute a crime to the person because a crime is committed when the person actually does a physical act and had an intention to do that. So if the person did not have the mental capacity or was not well mentally, then you can't say that the person really intended to commit those crimes. And for me, it's not about encouraging impunity, but it's about how we take care of the most vulnerable people in our society, including persons with mental health disorders.
Francis Xavier Susu is a private legal practitioner and member of parliament for Medina. Now, ahead of the holiday festivities, travel enthusiasts are calling on the government to improve tourism infrastructure and reduce the high cost of exploring Ghana. They argue that addressing these issues will attract more tourists and boost the economy. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show, travel enthusiast and member of Wanderlust Ghana, Ebenezer Kwejo Saka Adomensa, highlighted key barriers hindering tourism development in Ghana, including the poor road network.
First and foremost, we need to fix our roads. The travel time in Ghana makes it very, very discouraging to do these things. Anywhere outside Ghana, even our neighbors, Cote d'Ivoire, I'll say that you are guaranteed doing 100 kilometers in 1 hour. If we're able to achieve this, that means Kumasi is just 3 hours away. So you can drive in the morning, go and do whatever you want to do with Kumasi and your family and come back. So that accommodation and all those costs, we could mitigate them. The cost of these things, I'm a property developer. I don't blame the guys for what they charge, because what is really happening is that most of our tourism is just on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All other days, the properties sit and they don't make any money. They have loans to pay, they have bills to pay. Hence the pricing. If we're able to improve our infrastructure and many more people like you on leave, you can take your family, you drive to Takoradi in 2 hours and have fun. A lot of these things will come down because now a lot more of us will have to do it.
Ebenezer Kwejo Saka Adomensa is a travel enthusiast and member of Wanderlust Ghana. Now, another travel enthusiast and curator, Majra Asabia Yaboa, raised similar concerns, drawing attention to the high cost of accommodation and event venues in Ghana.
I feel like the cost compared to the quality and the actual services we provide, they match. It doesn't match, it doesn't work, but it's what we have. And honestly, I don't know. I feel like Ghana is overpriced. Ghana is overpriced compared to the quality of services. I don't know. I don't know what it is that would make a hotel charge $300 a night, and it's not really. When you travel and you stay in a 4-star or a 5-star, and you're paying that amount, you can tell. Like, you can feel it. You can see it. You can see why it's worth that amount. And then you come to Ghana, driving there alone is already a hassle. I have to service my bus every month. Like, it's already a problem. And then you're paying the same amount for the same quality. And you're like, really? There's this funny thing people say on Twitter about the fact that it was 30 view, Milo and 2 sausages and 2 eggs. And then it's like, 5-star.
You heard travel enthusiast and curator Majra Asabia Yaboa. Now let's turn our attention to the biggest all-white Christmas party that's about to happen, that promises to lock down the national capital with pure entertainment and fun to crown a long year for customers and patrons of the situation. To help me bring you a critical preview of the situation tonight is my colleague Ecole Kumsen. Good afternoon, Ecole.
Good afternoon, Kevin.
Thanks for joining us in the studio. Now, I heard you say today that someone is cleaning your all-white vans for you tonight. Yes. How are you preparing personally?
I'm pumped and ready. Gosh. I am full of energy. The adrenaline is very high. Because, situation is the best party that hits the city of Accra.
Thank you.
And we get to enjoy it as well tonight.
Now, last night, an old teacher of mine from high school called to ask me if I could do something about a table for him. Truthfully, it's sold out, eh?
At this point in time, it's sold out.
There's no space at all.
Nothing, absolutely
so this is happening at the
Underbridge.
East Legon Underbridge.
Yes.
What time are we taking off?
We are taking off at 8 p.m. Right. Exactly at 8 p.m. German time or Swiss time. We're taking off. And then we take off with some music, performances, everything. And then we get to enjoy good music, good food, good drinks. great interactions, everything all in one.
Talking about good music, guess who is going to be there tonight? MOG will be there.
Yes.
Adani Best will be there.
Yes.
Ketcha will be there.
Yes.
And Chin Chin Band will be
Yes.
there. And let's hear from MOG. What are we
Okay.
expecting from MOG tonight?
Right.
Let's take listeners to MOG.
One interesting thing about me is that by the grace of God, I'm a very versatile musician. So there's not going to be a dull moment. At all. No. There's not going to be a dull moment. And everything good starts with the Lord. So come, let's start. Yes, we're going to have fun and everything, but it's always expedient for us to remember how good the Lord has been to us. I mean, throughout the whole year. Some of you, the way you paid your bills, Campo, you don't even know. How you pay the children's school fees, your rent, and you don't even know. It's God who has been merciful every step of the way. If you can take out a minute or 2 or 5, just say thank you to God through your worship and praise. It's a good thing. So that's why we are going to be there. Then when we are done, you guys can do your...
Fantastic. So that was MOG. Who else will be showing up tonight?
Yeah, Bisakadia will be on the bill tonight.
Fantastic.
And then also DJ Mingo featuring Nanatufo Boateng.
Wonderful.
Not Your Regular Rave will be happening tonight as well.
My goodness.
So it's good to be, all in one.
Yes,
but
sir.
most importantly, we are there to party. So yeah, just come with your party vibe and come have a good time.
If you didn't buy a table, I'm sorry. We are sold out.
You can enjoy vicariously through social media. It's fine.
Thank you, Eko Okumsin.
Thank you for having me.
So that will be how we'll wrap up on today's edition of the Citi Prime News. Came to you live from our studio here in Accra. I am Caleb Kuda. There is more news when you log on to citinewsroom.com. You can also use the hashtags Ghana Post 2024 and Citi Verify for more election-related stories. My name is Caleb Kuda. Good afternoon.
City News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on